The story of Waverly Hills is a mixture of history, tragedy, and the unexplained. It is a place where life and death collided, and where the echoes of suffering seem to linger forever. Many come hoping to witness the paranormal, and many leave convinced that the building is truly haunted. High above the city of Louisville, Kentucky, sits a massive Gothic-style building, hidden behind its walls. Its story is one of the darkest chapters in American medical history. Built in the 1920s, it was once the largest and most famous hospital in the country. But this wasn't just any hospital. It was a self-contained city with kitchens, a post office, a theater, gardens, and recreation areas for thousands of patients, doctors, and nurses isolated from the world. The hospital witnessed countless events, experiments, and disturbing secrets. What was once a sanctuary became one of the most haunted places on earth. Welcome. Today, I'll tell you the story of Waverly Hills Hospital. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss new stories every week. The story begins in 1883 with Thomas Hills, a retired Confederate Army officer. After decades of service, he wanted peace and quiet. He searched for a secluded place to build a home for his family and found a hilltop property in Louisville, overlooking the Ohio River. The land was perfect, and he quickly bought it, building the home he had always dreamed of. But soon, Thomas faced a problem. His daughters were still in school, and the remote location made attending class almost impossible. He had to choose between his long-sought peace or his children's education. After much thought, he built a small school on the property, just one room, enough for his daughters and a few neighborhood children. The teacher, Mrs. Lizzie Lee Harris, loved literature, especially Sir Walter Scott's Waverly. She named the school Waverly School, and Thomas loved the idea, naming the hill Waverly Hill. Over time, the hill became lively, with children and families visiting regularly. Thomas's daughters grew up, and the school continued serving local children. By the early 20th century, Louisville changed drastically. Tuberculosis, known as the White Plague, spread rapidly. The disease was highly contagious, often showing no symptoms until it was too late. 1 in every 5 residents was infected, and medicine had no cure. Doctors knew isolation was crucial, but there were no specialized hospitals. Regular hospitals couldn't risk admitting TB patients. Patients were advised to stay home, unintentionally allowing the disease to spread faster. By 1907, the city acted. They purchased Waverly Hill for a dedicated tuberculosis hospital, and by 1910, Waverly Hills Hospital opened. The first hospital was small, with 2 wings and 20 beds each. Large windows and balconies provided fresh air, believed to be the best treatment. But as news spread, patients poured in. Within 2 years, it was overcrowded. Wooden units were added, and a separate children's ward was built, bringing capacity to 140 beds, but still not enough. By 1926, the old hospital couldn't handle the rising patient load. The city built a massive modern hospital, 5 floors, 100 rooms, and over 500 patient capacity. It included a library, theater, gym, school, and a professional kitchen to give patients a life as normal as possible. Inside, however, doctors still didn't know how to properly treat TB. Patients were forced to lie in bed for hours, even taken to balconies in freezing temperatures to get sun and fresh air. Harsh treatments included removing ribs or inflating lungs with balloons. Medicines often caused poisoning. Deaths were common, sometimes a patient every hour. To hide the dead from other patients, doctors used a long underground tunnel called the Death Tunnel, stretching over 1,000 meters to the railroad below. Corpses were quietly transported, avoiding the eyes of the living. Estimates say over 100,000 bodies passed through that tunnel. Even staff suffered. Nurses and doctors worked in constant danger, exposed to TB daily. The pressure and fear were immense. In 1928, Nurse Mary Hilber was found hanged in room 502. In 1932, another nurse fell from the same floor. The hospital's history was grim and tragic. The discovery of antibiotics gradually reduced TB deaths. Waverly Hills Hospital closed as a TB hospital in 1961 after 51 years. It reopened in 1962 as Woodhaven Nursing Home, but suffered neglect, abuse, and staff shortages. By 1982, it closed permanently. In 1983, a businessman tried to turn it into a prison, but protests blocked the plan. Over the next decades, owners attempted projects, including a 47-meter Christ statue, but none succeeded. The building fell into ruin, vandalized, and became a shelter for homeless people and teens. Oddly, no one stayed more than a couple of days. Those who did reported hearing the screams of people being tortured inside. Neighbors also claimed they heard the same sounds. Some even saw lights flicker in rooms where there was no electricity. One night, a homeless man entered to escape the cold. The next day, he and his dog were found dead in the elevator shaft. Some said he had slipped. Others claimed he had been pushed. Witnesses said they heard him screaming, but there was no evidence to prove anything. The eerie reputation of Waverly Hills grew. Paranormal enthusiasts and groups interested in the occult began visiting regularly. Some even performed rituals inside, including alleged satanic ceremonies, especially in room 502. In 2001, Charlie and Tina bought the building for $225,000. Their plan was to restore the property to its former glory. At the time, they had no idea about the strange stories the locals told. They only knew it had been a historic tuberculosis hospital. During the first 2 years, they cleaned the building thoroughly. They hired an air quality team to test the structure, which confirmed it was safe. Tina, excited, began filming the building to document its condition. The footage revealed strange phenomena. Flashes of lightning at the end of hallways, floating balls, and shadows moving between empty rooms. A few days later, Fox News contacted them for an interview. During the interview, they were asked about the paranormal reports. Tina mentioned a particularly important video the journalists had to see. After watching it, Fox News filmed inside the building, further confirming its haunted reputation. By 2003, Charlie and Tina decided to open guided tours. People came from all over the world to explore the building. Many visitors reported seeing ghosts and experiencing strange events. Some of the most famous hauntings include Timmy, a child who died in the hospital, and a little girl named Mary wearing a short-haired dress, moving between rooms. Visitors said Mary seemed upset when strangers were in the building. Others reported seeing the ghost of a chef coming out of the hospital kitchen. Near room 502, some witnessed a blood-covered woman running through the halls before vanishing. It is said to be the nurse who died there. Screams echo from the death tunnel, and some claim to hear mysterious footsteps and whispers in empty rooms. Balls left by visitors for Timmy often appear to move on their own. Waverly Hills Hospital has become one of the most famous haunted places in America. The building's tragic past, combined with decades of neglect, abuse, and mysterious deaths, has created a hotspot for ghost hunters and thrill seekers. Today, visitors continue to experience strange phenomena, seeing shadows, lights, and hearing voices in areas that have long been abandoned. Waverly Hills stands as a reminder of the horrors of the past, the dangers of tuberculosis, and the strange, lingering presence of those who never truly left. Even decades after its closure, Waverly Hills continues to captivate people's imaginations. Its legacy as a hospital, a nursing home, and now a haunted landmark ensures that the building will not be forgotten. Every corner, every hallway, and every room seems to tell a story of pain, mystery, and the human struggle against disease and death.